Hello, friends. How are you all doing? Welcome to this another live stream, Thursday live streams. My name is Steph, in case you wouldn't be familiar with this face and this voice already. Today's live stream, I wanted to answer a very simple question. And it's a question that comes back over and over again for a lot of people. I'm pretty sure for everyone listening to this or watching this as a replay. And the question is, what does my business need to be successful on the internet, right? Because we're all surrounded by so many people, so many experts, marketing experts, coaching experts, hypnotherapy marketing, coaching marketing, all sorts of people who actually most of the time do know what they're talking about, but very often it's not presented in the correct context. So just before I dive in, give me a quick shout out if you can hear me fine. You should be able to hear me fine, in which case I will take off my, I have here a feedback which tells me actually the sound is fine. There's a new feature telling me that. So that allows me to take my space helmet off. So let me put this on a little crocket here, and here we go. So let me come back to this and let me show you what I mean with that. You will all be familiar with what I'm showing here on screen. So whenever we are surrounded by people who know that we are building a business, a hypnotherapy business or a coaching business, we are surrounded by all types of people providing us sound and sometimes not so sound advice. If you ask the question to people, some of them will tell you right away, well, what you need is social media. You know, without social media, there's nothing you can achieve because that's where people hang out, right? You need to be on social media. Comes along another person telling you, well, what you really need, what I had really success with is actually Google Ads, because guess what? If somebody has a problem, specifically relating to hypnotherapy or to coaching, fitness coaching or lifestyle coaching, mindset coaching, or in hypnotherapy, we have anxieties, we have sleep problems, we have writer's block, we have all sorts of problems that can be solved with hypnotherapy. And then they tell you, well, you know what? People are looking on Google, searching on Google for a solution to this problem. And then comes person C telling you, what? Google Ads? Yeah, sure. Social media? Well, okay, but do you know the next big thing, and if you're not on there, you will be missing out, is TikTok. You have to be on TikTok. Without TikTok, forget about all the rest. TikTok is like everybody's on TikTok. And then you're turning around and saying, wait a minute, what's social media, Google Ads, TikTok? And then the other person comes to your left and said, you know, you need a marketing list. Without a marketing list, how are you going to reach your people? You need the emails of those people, so you need to build a marketing list. And then the next person will talk to you about this, landing pages. The other person will tell you need a tripwire, you need a marketing funnel, and so on, and so on, and so on. And I believe you all know the dilemma. The questions don't end there. It's always something new that you are presented with in terms of advice, and you just at some point in time do no longer know what to turn your head towards. So I'm doing this live stream because I've been literally surrounded by these kinds of answers that I see on social media when it comes to marketing. And you know, I've been in this business for over 12 years. I'm always saying 12 years, but it's actually 15 years. So there is one very simple thing you can answer yourself. No, you can ask yourself, and something you need to start with. To answer all of those questions, you just need one key, and that key is the following. That key is to know, the only thing you really need is to know your ideal customer. Your ideal customer avatar. If you know what your ideal customer needs in terms of the problem that he needs to be solved, the pain points he has, then only do you know what you would need in terms of digital marketing as well. Let me give you an example. let's say you have somebody interested in getting rid of writer's block. And I have that to illustrate it here on my sheet. So let me share that with you as well. Let me go one step back here. Sorry for this. So let's say they have a writer's block, okay? And the first thing I always do is I need to first, I need to completely understand what the problems is somebody with writer's block is facing. Where does it come from? What is the underlying reason for their writer's block? I need to know what tools they actually use already in terms of marketing. For example, on this screen you see here, do a search very simply on Google with a Google tool, which is, in this case is called ubersuggest.com, which provides you with a few free searches that you can do to identify the number of people on a monthly basis for a specific country or specific region would be searching to solve their problem. In this case, writer's block. I was just doing this a little bit earlier on today, and you see people are using search terms, or we call it key phrases, such as writer's block, help, but also how hypnosis work, how hypnotists work, because I was writing writer's block hypnosis. Then we have what's writer's block. Some people are asking themselves the question. They don't even really know what it is. They're just like intrigued. Then you have writing hypnosis. So you see, it's one of the first things I personally do when I evaluate what type of tool I would be using for a specific person having a specific problem is to use the very tools that I would probably use for my marketing. If, for example, I think that maybe Google Ads would be a good idea, well, I would go to Google and do a search with the search term that I would use if I was a person having a problem. If I'm having an anxiety problem, I would probably go at Google and like mimic your ideal customer avatar with the problem of anxiety, and I would look for anxiety. What can you do? Anxiety help, anxiety solutions, or somebody a little bit further advanced in terms of their search already for a solution to their problem. Maybe they've identified already that hypnosis or hypnotherapy is one of the solutions to that problem, and they type in anxiety hypnotherapy or hypnotherapy near me or whatever. So that gives me a clue, a very important clue, whether or not the tool that everybody's talking about. Yes, you need Google Ads, you need Facebook ads, you need an email marketing campaign, you need a Facebook group. I will be able to determine whether or not those tools, the specific tools, are actually adapted to what I want to do, because I need to first and foremost reach out to those people, right? I need to be, in other words, I need to be where my customers, my ideal customers, are hanging out. There's no point in, for example, doing a Facebook ad or a Facebook campaign if a specific search term is not something that is being discussed widely, more or less widely, in Facebook groups, right? These are indicators. So, and if you have a look again on my screen here, if I go further for writer's block, just in this case, if I go to Facebook groups, well, yes, there are Facebook groups, but there are not that many for this specific search term. I see writer's block, a private Facebook group with 28 members. I have Write a Block with Richard. Well, it's got nothing really to do with writer's block. Maybe he has something with writer's block in his group, but it's also just 536 members. This is not a huge market of people looking that up on Facebook. Then we have here the writer's block. Well, now it's 2.2K. That's not too bad. Do you have a book stuck in your head and heart and you just haven't got it into the page? Welcome home, my love. Here. So there are some results if you go to Facebook, and I would strongly recommend you do that, especially in the beginning when you're just starting out, because you absolutely need to understand what the problems are that your ideal customer are facing. And you find answers to that question in Facebook groups, for example. These are the best, probably some of the online communities are some of the best tools that you can use to get a more or less clear understanding of how you could actually approach your marketing. It boils down to finding the right Facebook ad title, the right visuals, and more importantly, the illustration of the pain point they are facing. Because if it is an ad, very clearly identifies the pain point, and somebody who has that problem looks at your ad, well, guess what? It's like looking into a mirror. And if you do that, if you make that connection, that's where people click, and that's where people go to your landing page or your website, and that's where you are able to bring things further in terms of leading to a conversion, right? So again, if the very first and important question to ask yourself is really that it's to get crystal clear in terms of what the problems are that your ideal customer avatar, your customer, your client, your potential client is facing. Without a clear understanding in relation to that, you will never be able to actually validate a marketing strategy. Let's say you work with people who take care of your marketing, help you with your marketing. You should ask those questions, and with a little bit of guidance, those people will probably tell you, well, you should go do a search on Facebook, or you should test whether or not that specific search term is actually searched for on Google, because otherwise Google ads wouldn't make any sense, right? You would be targeting something that nobody is searching for. So what's the point in investing any money into a Google ads campaign, for that matter? Something else to look at is simple Google results. Like, just go to Google without even looking at Ubersuggest for the search volume. But if there's something like this where I write writer's block, but now it's specific because I did this research here in Canada. It may be different in a different geolocation, because Google Ads allows you to target specific geolocations like country, a city, or even a postal code. So you've got to be careful of what shows up on your screen. But in this case, in my area here, locally at least, when I write writer's block, there's nothing coming up in terms of an ad, right? You see this red arrow here. I put this here because I don't see an ad. I only see natural search results, and nobody is setting up or is trying to advertise solutions to the potential problem of writer's block, and that should ring a bell, right? If there's no ads, there may be no market. It's just a first hypothesis. It doesn't mean that if you do one search and no ad shows up, that would be the validation. You need to do more searches. You need to do searches in the geolocation that you're interested in. And you also need to do it at different times during the day, because with Google Ads, you can also determine at what specific time slot you want to appear and at what you do not want to appear. And you also have to do your search on a PC, desktop computer, or Apple, or on your mobile phone. Because the two differ, right? People could decide only to advertise on mobile, because we all know now that in between 70 and 85% of the entire internet almost is first and foremost doing searches on Google, on mobile, sorry. So all these things you would need to take into consideration. But to come back to our initial question here, if somebody asks you or tells you what you should be doing, like they tell you you need social media, you need Google Ads, you absolutely need to be on TikTok, you need to build your marketing list, you need landing page, strip. This list goes on and on and on. But there's one simple, very simple question that you now know that you need to answer for yourself first, before being able to answer these questions. And that is, who is my ideal customer? You define your customer, the ideal customer avatar, something you can write out. What are the problems they're trying to solve? What are the pain points that are related to those problems? And once you have the answer to those three questions, you ask yourself question number 4. Where are they hanging out? Is it on Facebook? Is it maybe on different social media? It could be LinkedIn. It could be TikTok. Definitely, if it's a younger crowd, Facebook is an older crowd in comparison to TikTok. It could be Instagram. It could be anything. But you need to ask yourself that question first. And then you validate by going there, and you look up with your search terms whether or not people are actually talking about that. And to get an understanding what they even in terms of what keywords, what words they're using when they explain their problem or asking questions. Those could be potential keywords for Google Ads, if it is Google Ads or if it's Facebook Ads, because Facebook works very similarly when it comes at least to writing the ad copy, not in terms of targeting. So here you have it. It's like really that straightforward and simple, actually, to ask yourself that question. It is very important. So for any question showing up in your mind or being presented to you by friends that obviously they all want the best for you, they want you to succeed, and any digital marketer or specialist, wherever you come across them, wherever webinar you listen to, they will present very often their solution and their recommendation in relationship to a specific context, right? And you have to understand the context in which they make their recommendation. Their recommendation is not necessarily wrong. It may very well be very right, and most often it is right, actually. But it is presented in a specific context. And you, for yourself, need to first validate the context in which that is presented, that recommendation, and to make sure that that context applies to you. And that context for you is your ideal customer avatar, your ideal customer. That's the first question you need to ask yourself. So I don't want to lose too much of your time today. I wanted to hop on very quickly. It will be a very short live stream today. And obviously, before I leave you, let you go, the Christmas time is coming up big time now. I'd very much like you to leave a comment and to like this video, like nowish. You can do this right away underneath wherever you see this video, if it is on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok. No, I'm not on TikTok. If you are on LinkedIn, leave a comment if you have questions. And for those of you who would like me to send you a workbook, a PDF workbook to define your ideal customer avatar, just leave a comment underneath this video with the word customer, ICA, for ideal customer avatar, ICA. For those of you who add that comment underneath this video, I will get back to you and send you a PDF worksheet that allows you step by step to define your ideal customer, so that once and for all, you will know how to answer that question. That being said, I thank you very much for listening in today. This will be the last live stream for the next 3 weeks, friends, because, well, Christmas is knocking on the door and everyone is busy, me including. And I will be back first week of January with a new live stream and probably a new formula as well. And until then, I hope you will have a very wonderful holiday season ahead. And I wish you all the best. Love you. I talk to you soon. Bye-bye.